There's an article on Jezebel.com called What is Birth Rape? What is birth rape? And even though the article is 6 years old, a lot of people have just recently started sending it to me, so I guess this has just now gotten people's attention and caught fire across the internet. The concept of birth rape is described as follows.
A vulnerable woman who is powerless to leave the situation, is at times held down against her will, has strangers looking at and touching her private parts of her body, perhaps without appropriate measures being taken to acknowledge her ownership of her body, or to preserve her comfort levels. Perhaps she has fingers or instruments inserted without her consent, and sometimes against her consent, invading and crossing decent boundaries. She is fearful of what is happening to her, and perhaps for the well-being of her baby, and receives no reassurances that either she or her child are okay. This is a violation, no matter how you look at it. Even if this treatment is given with no malice, and the intent of attempting to assist her with birthing her child, there is never a reason to forego common decencies that will enable her to maintain a role in the birth, some autonomy over her body, to be involved in the decision-making, to be informed about what they do before they do it.
So basically, all obstetricians are rapists because of what they have to do to help a woman give birth. We're gonna have to go in and flip the baby. It's coming out feet first. No! Okay. Well, that puts both you and your baby in danger. What? Are you trying to coerce me into cooperating with you, violating my body? How dare you? You remember that episode of Family Guy where Peter Griffin sues his doctor because after he gets a prostate exam, he thought it was rape? Remember how we all laughed at Peter Griffin? Well, we didn't laugh because it's a Seth MacFarlane show, but remember how we were all supposed to laugh at the fact that Peter Griffin is so stupid that he thinks a prostate exam is rape? And you think to yourself, well, no one in real life is that stupid. Only a fucking cartoon character made up to be as stupid as possible could possibly be that stupid. Well, guess what? You were wrong. There's women out there who apparently feel the same way Peter Griffin does. Here's another excerpt from a feminist blog about this issue, yeah.
It took decades to believe that rape occurred in marriages, or that women could be rapists too, so expanding the definition to include birth might take a very long time, and I am sure many, many years, and a slew of failed lawsuits before anyone in the legal system recognizes birth traumas/abuses, much less birth rape. In fact, I have known of women to talk to lawyers as they consider suing their care provider, and the lawyers won't even discuss it. The typical proof of lasting physical harm is even abandoned, as some women have to have reconstructive surgery to repair the damage caused by their doctor or midwife. What is a traumatized woman supposed to do? I think we all know it takes an extremely powerful woman to even think about bringing a lawsuit against a perpetrator, and the aftermath of trauma is not the most conducive time to do this.
Damage caused by their doctor or midwife. I'm pretty sure the damage is actually caused by the huge baby that they're squeezing through the tiny hole of their fucking vagina. Pretty sure that's where the damage comes from. It ain't the fucking doctor's fault, all right? The doctor, or in fact, no human being designed how women give birth. It's just how nature worked it out, because nature doesn't really give a fuck about us. If human beings designed it, women would just have a little drawer in their bellies that you pull on out. In fact, not even that. The babies would just be brought by the stork, like they are in old cartoons. No vaginal destruction necessary. But think about this. If giving birth and the resulting trauma is a form of rape, then we are all, every single human being on the face of the planet, we are all rapists. And obstetricians and nurses and shit, those are just our accomplices. We all conspired together to rape our own mothers. It was actually the first thing any of us did in this world, just rape our moms. And to think, feminists have spent so much time saying, we need to teach men not to rape. But in fact, men are not the worst rapists, it's babies. We need to teach babies not to rape. But I gotta admit to you guys, I actually kind of like this concept of birth rape. Because it puts us all on kind of an even keel, doesn't it, you know? We're all rapists, so no one gets to be smugly superior to anyone else. No one gets to be like, I'm such a moral person. Because guess what? We're all rapists. Ha ha! And don't try to weasel your way out of it with that I was a C-section bullshit. If anything, the C-section people are worse. They didn't just rape their mothers, they mutilated them, for fuck's sake. I mean, what would you I mean, you know, what's worse, a guy who rapes a woman or a guy who rapes a woman and cuts her open? Seriously, folks, how much more ridiculous are we going to allow this to get? Is there some sort of, like, feminist high council somewhere where a bunch of fat women with bad dye jobs and worse body odor gather around in a circle and try to figure out what the next thing they're going to be outraged about is? You know, some woman, probably Big Red, sitting there like, you know what I think is rape? Childbirth. And then the rest of the empty-headed feminists, oh, yeah, that's rape too, yeah. I mean, it's kind of my obligation at this point in the video to try to exaggerate that, but it's really hard to do. I mean, like, it's hard to even come up with something more ridiculous than what they're actually saying, but I think I got it. Get this, guys. Eating food is a form of oral rape. Yeah, just imagine some poor woman sitting there on her couch with a tube of Pringles, you know? And she sits there and she doesn't really want to eat the Pringles, but she's just compelled by some force, you know? I mean, what is she doing? She's emptying a long tube of its contents. They're forcefully shoved down her throat and into her belly. When you stare upon the face of the cute little mustache Pringles man, know that you stare upon the face of the worst rapist in the history of the human fucking race, ladies and gentlemen. If that's not rape, I don't know what is. Actually, I do know what is rape. It's sexual contact with another person without their consent. I know what rape is, but apparently the feminists out there, they have no fucking idea. They think giving birth is rape. Are you really gonna trust them? Come the fuck on. And hey, if you enjoy the Amazing Atheist channel, you would also probably enjoy my podcast, The Drunken Peasants, with my buddy Ben, my retard brother Scotty, and my friend Paul Zigo. You can check that shit out. I'll put a link to that down below in the description section. Please go check it out and subscribe to that shit because it's fucking awesome and we need your support. Oh yeah.